Hey friends, how y'all doing? I hope everybody's doing good. Man, I want to say a huge shout out. I want to, dedicate a huge shout out to my friend Bryce Newberry from KPRC. Wow. Did you guys see that? His whole report that he just put out? My goodness, friends. You guys remember that shooting where this guy walks up to the door and in a Maserati, the purple Maserati guy. Oh my goodness. Let me show y'all real quick. Man, friends, a life could have been spared if there were procedures set in place. Man, this man did not have to die, friends, in that shooting. And I'm talking about this one. Let me show y'all real quick. Look. We're talking about this one. This guy is a credit card scammer. I'm going to tell y'all right now. Remember this one? The victim in this video that got shot at point blank, that victim died. This happened this past Sunday, I think out in the A-Leaf area. Well, friends, my friend Bryce Newberry, he's been investigating. Like, he's really good. Like, he investigated everything. This guy has killed one other person prior to this horrible tragedy that happened on Sunday in that area of Houston. Well, there's all kinds of stuff. There's stuff involving ICE. This guy was a credit card skimmer. Like, he was doing the skimming. He was scamming folks. He was stealing stuff, like with all the stolen credit card information. He was doing a lot of tranzas. Tranzas means like licks, crime, whatever, like in Spanish. This guy was out there doing a lot of fraudulent stuff. And he killed his ex-brother-in-law. Now, we don't know why that would have happened, but he was already making threats. And this guy faced deportation prior to this murder, but the country, Cuba, would not take him back. So he just got to live here. Like, there wasn't anything to do with him. It's crazy, friends. Oh my gosh. Please make sure you're following my friend out here. Hold on, let me show y'all who. Oh my goodness. This is a mess. This man's life could have been spared, y'all. Like, the victim would still be here and he wouldn't have had to die. Make sure you follow Bryce. Hold on. This is Bryce. I just can't believe it, you guys. This is just sad. Make sure you follow him. He just put out a report. He's been working hard on it. Make sure you follow him and stuff. Man, friends, this is just insane. And so he was doing the credit card skimming. Remember how I showed you how people will put the skimmers on the gas pumps right there, or at the cash registers, where you pay for where you swipe your cards and stuff? Well, that's exactly what that guy was doing. He was one of those scammers and stealing people's information. That's why he was able to drive around in a tacky purple Maserati, you guys. This guy was riding around in a tacky ass purple Maserati. Baby. Oh my gosh, friends. Let me see. Hold on. Unbelievable. The country, Cuba, would not. That is just insane, y'all. Sounds like we got another passenger for El Salvador. Yeah, it just depends. So he had killed somebody else, I think back in 2016. There were social media posts that I saw floating around, and it caught my attention. Somebody reached out with that video, and I got to talk to the family members today. They're so sad. Bryce went and interviewed them, and he's learning Spanish too, y'all. Y'all better, baby, Bryce is becoming a bilingual reporter. Shout out to him. Yes, friends, follow him. He's a good, friends, for me to be recommending reporters, like, he's a good one. And he'll ask the tough questions at press conferences and stuff like that. Like, he makes folks uncomfortable with the real questions, like where I might be shy. No, Bryce is gonna ask, friends. Bryce is gonna be asking. That video is so heartbreaking. He goes, knocks on the door, and I guess I don't think the victim, when he answered, I don't think he realized who it was, because this man had been threatening them. They already knew that he was going to do something bad to him. He had no reason to even be here, friends. He was here illegally. He faced deportation, I think twice. I think twice. Let me see what Bryce was saying. Hold on here. Oh, it's so sad, man. Like, this man did not need to die. That's like that other layer of pain that the families have to live with, knowing that if something would have been enforced, if something would have been prevented, they have to live with knowing that they live knowing that he didn't have to die. Like, this didn't need to happen. Ooh, my goodness. So let me see if I can get some key points out of this. So the victim was shot in front of his family. He later died at the hospital. This guy showed up in a gym tank top. Oh my gosh, it's just scary. The victim's name is Edieski Incencio Pinedo. Yes. And then the guy's Andres de la Paz. Anyways, let me see. He was making threats to them. So the suspect's criminal history includes a previous murder case from 2016, which he allegedly shot 2 men, killing one of them. The prosecutors dismissed that case the next year, writing in records that it couldn't be proven beyond a reasonable doubt and citing self-defense. Okay. Then, according to a law enforcement source, Fernandez de la Paz allegedly led a credit card skimming operation across Texas. So the dude was going around different cities in Texas, placing credit card skimmers on, the swiping machines or your pay machines, right? My goodness. All the people that say, Grizzy, my EBT card information was stolen and somebody wiped out all my food stamps. This is the kind of person that was doing that. These guys. I'm getting a lot of messages about people stealing credit card information. When you're at the pump, let me tell y'all, when you're over there at the pump, make sure you check the machines, friends. Wiggle it around a little bit to see when you're at the carniceria, because they're going into Hispanic businesses, like the little mom pop stores. If you go to the little mom pop stores, just check real quick or do the tap to pay. Renew your cards. Get it. My card is old. Let me show y'all my card, friends. My card is old. I need a new one. Because I swipe. I still swipe. My card is in bad shape, y'all. It's a old ass card. I need to get a new one. It expires this year, thank God. So finally I'll get a new one. I don't even want it coming in the mail because people steal mail too. Oh my gosh, y'all. There's so much scamming going on. And the innocent people pay for that crap, man. Hold on, let me read this. Let me see what else we're gonna read. Make sure you read that article, friends. The Sour Lake Police Department arrested him in June 2023 after discovering skimming devices during a traffic stop in Hardin County. He's been out there with y'all. The chief said officers stopped him just as he and 2 others had placed one at a gas pump. Ooh! The FBI. Now the FBI is investigating all of this too, friends. The FBI. Bryce contacted the FBI. Look. Says the FBI took over the investigation days later, though no federal charges were filed. The 3 suspects were released from custody. What? Oh my God. Then last fall, a surveillance image shared exclusively with KPRC. Oh my gosh. I hope they release that. Captured him allegedly using stolen credit card info to make high volume purchases through a retail chain's app, leading to his arrest in Fort Bend County. He was later released on an $8,000 bond. In both arrests, records show that ICE lodged immigration detainers, which means he should have been taken into immigration custody after being released from the county jail. Oh my God. It just gets worse and worse. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE officials confirmed Fernandez de la Paz had been paroled into the U.S. in 2014 for a period of 2 years, according to an ICE spokesperson. But he didn't leave the country when he should have. He should have been in the country illegally. He has been in the country illegally since 2016, and an immigration judge ordered him removed in 2019. However, the Cuban government refused to accept his return at the time, preventing ICE from carrying out his removal. Oh my God. So go check out the statement. Go look at this KPRC. I shared it, friends. Go look at the statement that the FBI, that ICE gave Bryce and KPRC. Friends, go check that out. Oh my goodness. This is so sad, because history tends to repeat itself a lot. We might be seeing more stuff like this. I pray not. My goodness. This is some craziness, man. That poor pobrecito del señor, man. And if you just jumped on this live and you have absolutely no clue what I'm talking about, let me show y'all real quick. And then I'm going to talk about one more thing. One more thing after this. This one's a juicy one. I'm going to tell you. Another one is crazy. Hold on, friends. Let me show y'all. This one right here. Are y'all there with me? Because I can't see comments. I don't know. The phone is trippy. Let me see. Where are we at? Where's that video? This one right here. This guy. What the hell is he wearing? Oh my God. So this guy got to stay in this country after killing somebody, after getting caught in scams and all that. He got to continue to steal and rob and scam from people, from innocent people. Oh, it doesn't make sense. Oh my God. Like, I don't know. And they come after the weed dealers and everything real tough, man. That's crazy. This guy got to, after all the bullshit, this guy got to continue. He got to drive a better car than us. Well, it's tacky. I don't think that purple Maserati was better than it. I think my little Nissan's a lot better than his little purple Maserati. That's a tacky car. But you know what I'm saying? He was driving a luxury vehicle. The house he got arrested in, I don't know if he lives there or owns the house, but that was a nice house, friends. Like he was staying in Katy, in a nice little house in Katy. He was living a lot better than most of us that worked a 9 to 5 every day. Ooh, my God. Just crazy, friends. Crazy. It's crazy how people that, the system, people that screw the system, they thrive, man. They thrive. Ooh, sad. And then you got the hardworking really struggling just to make ends meet with $13 to your name until Friday when you get paid. And you praying that you don't need gas. Jesus. All right, well, the other one I got for y'all. Hold on. I got another one for y'all. Okay, so I'm going to talk about it one last time. And I'll try to stay classy and not get out of hand because I did go off earlier. There's there was a situation that happened at a Mexican restaurant in Humble. A woman left. Hold on. A woman left from a Mexican restaurant, very disgruntled. I don't know what all happened. I've been told, more or less, but until I see it with my own eyes, I can't report that back to you. But there was an incident where a woman left a Mexican restaurant and she was really angry. I don't know what she said to her relatives, but the relatives went back to where she had come from. They went back to where the Mexican restaurant is. The Mexican restaurant happens to be next door to a tire shop. And I don't know why, but those relatives vandalized, those two brothers. They vandalized the tire shop. The tire shop had no dealings with whatever incident went down. And this woman, I don't know if she was drunk. I don't know what was going on. I know what they've told me, but I can't prove that, so I have to be careful what I say. Something she said to these young idiots made them come back and vandalize an innocent local business that had nothing to do with whatever bullshit went down at the Mexican restaurant. If you serve alcohol somewhere, make sure that your people that you're serving don't get to a point to where they're belligerent or disrespectful or whatever. You know what? Make your money, but just know that you're doing a disservice to the community when you allow people to get to that point where they're acting like idiots and all this other stuff. because there's a residual effect that happens. You know, I don't know if she drove home drunk. I don't know all those details, but I can only imagine, right? So these two idiots, I'm going to show y'all the video of that. These two idiots came back. They threw tires around. They tried to roundhouse kick the front door like Chuck Norris in a horrible way. They were throwing little girl tantrums out there. And the final blow literally was when the guy picks up the tire jack and throws it, the bar, you know, the bar for to jack the tires up. He throws the bar at the glass window, the door, and shatters it. Precinct 4 is investigating this. And I know, I'm more than confident that there will be justice. I mean, I'm more than confident that at least an arrest will be made. I'm sure. Because, man, Precinct 4 does not play. It's not going to just sit in a pile load of paperwork until whenever. No, it's going to get handled. I'm sure. They don't play. Shout out to Mark Herman. So let me show you this video in case you have no clue what on earth I'm talking about. Oh my God, friends. I was so sad to see all this. And I hate it for the local business. And then I'm going to tell y'all something else real quick. Because I did a come on down. I called out one of them. It turns out the other one is the brother. Y'all got to get that 2-for-1 special, friends. Hold on. Let me look for this video. It's chaotic. It's chaos. These idiots just reacted and didn't even go and ask or investigate or find out. They believed some idiot. And then they reacted like greater idiots. Hold on, friends. Let me look. I'm about to see it right now. There's so many videos. I post so much stuff. Oh my gosh. I post so much. Here they go. This is the video right here. That's them, right? They get there. And he's driving a tacky Camaro with the tacky rims. They start kicking the door. Then they go check out the Mexican restaurant, but they don't do anything over there. The Mexican restaurant was clear. Whatever happened out there, I don't know really what happened. All right. So they walk this way. This is the roundhouse kick. They try to be like Chuck Norris. Look. Oh, no. And I even put a Chuck Norris in there. All right. Then they do that. And some weak-ass kicks. I'm a soccer player, so those were weak kicks. Then they just, throw tires around, whatever. Just based off of a bullshit explanation or lie or whatever. Just based off of bullshit, they reacted in this kind of way. All right, look. Just like little bitches, man. All right, there we go. Throwing tires around. Just taking out their frustration. I don't know what this female told them. Oh, look. Oh, okay. Let's go save that car from getting hit. Let me show some courtesy here. All right. Then they're about to hop into their loser cruisers. All right. Then they go. They burn out. But there's one more thing he's got to do before he leaves. Hold on. All right. So this is the damages, the busted out windows. There's Precinct 4 in the background. And yeah, friends, this is just sad. So they've been identified. Everybody, the whole hood knows who did it. The guy had the audacity to come and say something on the post saying, hey, lady, mind your business. Go to sleep. It's been handled already. No, it has not. You still need to pay for what you did, little boy. Little boy, you need to pay for what you did, right? So ever since we posted, we back up the local business. These poor people, man, they're nice people. It's a family-owned little business. We got to support these local businesses, and we got to protect the local businesses that dare to put their money into the hood, because it creates more wealth when we have businesses in the neighborhood, right? It creates opportunities, jobs. It creates wealth. That's a foundation, a pillar for the community, is to have businesses. Like, I live in a place where we can't even have grocery stores. We got nothing but gas stations. It's a food desert for like a whole mile around my house. I go to friends' houses And they've got Kroger, they've got HEB around, because they live in nicer areas. I've got to drive a little further if I want to go to a nice store. So anyways, we don't have anything where I stay. I stay off of Homestead and Parker. We've got gas stations, lots of gas stations. They'll take EBT, they'll sell some groceries, but it's very high priced. It's a food desert. Anyways, getting back to this. So ever since we've posted on social media, now the local business is getting harassed by individuals. Last time I checked, it was like around 2 o'clock, I think was the last incident. People are stopping by, yelling out obscenities, making threats. People are honking at them, like just a lot of harassment because of these boys. And when I say boys, they're 18 and 22. So they're legal adults. That's why I know with confidence, they're not going to be referred to juvenile or anything like that. We know where they park their cars. We know where they live. We know all of that, right? These are grown men acting like little boys, and their reaction was just really stupid. And I feel bad that they even act like that, because I mean, you know, they're young people with a lot of potential, and I don't even know if they feel remorse or sorry for what they did. Like, you know, I know somebody tried to make right the wrong, saying, please don't say anything, please don't charge them, please don't take this to the cops. Nah, they gotta pay for what they did, man. They gotta pay for what they did. I don't know what the payment is gonna be, but you gotta pay. You gotta pay. All right, friends. Well, just wanted to let that be known. If you're one of the clowns over there harassing those folks, you might want to stop, because you will get that come on down, and ain't nobody exempt from that. You're retaliating and all this other kind of stuff. That's not the way to do it. That's not, just let it be. Take that L. Take that big ass L. Take that loss, homie. Take that little loss, homie. Homies. And don't be a freaking follower either. Y'all are following a bunch of bullshit and going against the grain. The grain is this way. We're moving together in unison, the community, right? We got idiots doing this, pushing back. And guess what? We're stronger. We're going to push forward. And that's all I got to say, man. Aténganse, cabrones, a las consecuencias, porque andar chingando con gente inocente y los negocios de las personas bien trabajadoras y chingando y fregando, you're going to find out. That's all I got to say. Bye. I love y'all. Peace out. I don't think I'm going to do any more hood news. I think I'm going home for the night already. Hold on, let me check. Let me check the messages. Prayers for the deceased man over there on the east side, man. That's so sad, y'all. Oh, one more. Okay, this is another one. Tomorrow in the morning, like around 8 or 9, I'm working on it tonight, so it'll automatically post in the morning. A young man, a hood news peep, reached out that her brother was found dead. Oh my gosh. Bertrand, near Marianne, out there, all the East Aldine district. One of our hood news peeps, she's a day one peep. She messaged me and she said, Grizzy, my brother was found dead behind his house in another lot. It's like somebody threw him over the fence. Like, he was found behind his house, but on another property. She says that she saw him and he looks like he had bruises on him. They laid him to rest already. The medical examiner's findings have not been determined yet. We don't know if it's a homicide or what, but it is being investigated. I do know that. Homicide detectives, crime scene units were out there. If anybody has any footage, this is all I have right now from that scene. I'm going to show y'all. I did get messages last month. This was going to be March 24th. March 24th, 2025, I received like 4 or 5 messages. 3 of them were people just asking me if I knew anything. I said, no, I don't. I'm so sorry. It could be an overdose. It could be a suicide. I don't know. And then 2 people actually sent me images. And this is what I received from one of them. Hold on. Let me show y'all real quick. I'm looking. This is the only image I have. If anybody happened to be driving on Bertrand March 24th and you saw a lot of Harris County Sheriff's Office, can y'all send me whatever you have? I know everybody records and everybody takes pictures. I would like to do a little better than this. This is all I have of that moment, of that day, of that time. This is all I have. Just 2 deputies standing outside somewhere. That's all I have. If anybody has any other images or videos, I'll keep you anonymous. I want to do better. I want to do better by the young man. And if there's anything that we can help the family, they already laid him to rest. They did a huge fundraiser. The hood came through, friends. The sister was telling me that they raised $13,000 to lay him to rest. When I hear that, I know 2 things. And they didn't even need flyers. They didn't need to beg the whole community outside of his own friends and people in the neighborhood. I never received a flyer for it. Like, that tells me that this guy was a stand-up person. Like, that everybody just came through, donated, bought plates. They put it all together. $13,000 were raised without asking a whole bunch of strangers to support. And that tells me everything. I was like, man, this dude was a badass guy. He had to be. He had to be a badass guy for a bunch of everybody in the hood to come through and show up and help the family. And they were very thankful for all the friends, all the people that showed up, all the neighbors. Everybody came through. It's like he was very well liked. So I want to help this guy because he sounds like he was a really great guy. Now, we don't know if it was a homicide, but the circumstances of being found with bruises, like the last time they remember seeing him was a Saturday. The March 24th was a Monday. He was found during the daytime. And there might be some footage here and there. I also want to tell everybody, if you live off of Bertrand, check your cameras for Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Monday. Just check those three days. Before 2 days prior to the 24th, check those cameras because I know stuff deletes. I know that some businesses, if they don't have badass cameras, a lot of that footage deletes in 15 days. Don't ask me how I know because I personally have gone with family members of hit and run victims looking for footage. And it's sad, man. I've seen people break down and cry because they'll walk up to like a store and say, hey, do y'all have footage of this? And my daughter got hit by a car and they took off and we're trying to find the hit and run driver. And then the business will say, damn, if you would have been here 2 weeks ago, I would have had a video of her. If you say she was walking down the street, but it deletes. Things delete, friends. Things do delete if they're not the best quality. The better cameras, they stay around. There's cameras that don't delete all the footage. That stays out there because people are paying for that. The better your cameras. Oh, another reminder. Make sure you wipe down the lenses on your cameras. Friends, go outside. Whenever you get a chance, grab some Windex. Let me see. Hold on. Got a lot of jackets back here. Get some paper towels. Get your Windex. Go or put it on the rag first. Wipe down your cameras. Some of y'all, we cannot identify nobody that's robbed you or stole from you or bandits that walked up and stole your packages because your lenses are dirty. Everything comes out blurry. Go clean that shit up. You never know when you're going to need to identify something. And the Ring cameras, make sure your internet is good because those Ring cameras, they don't capture people right, man. And what's the other brand? I don't like none of them cameras, friends. I don't like none of that, man. Ugh, those cameras suck. What's the other one? Blink blinks. Blink, believe them. Believe that name. When it says Blink, believe that they Blink should be called Shut Your Eyes. Man, just check your cameras, friends. That's all I gotta say. Bertrand, Aldine Westfield area, Keith Ways Park area. Check y'all's cameras from the 24th, the 23rd, the 22nd, 23rd, 24th. We're trying to, if anybody's got any pictures or any of that, we're trying to find out what happened to this man. And if it does turn into that there was foul play, because why would he be over a fence on the other side in his backyard, but on the other side in somebody else's property and nobody lives there? I said, hey, does anybody live on that property? She said, no, it's like a vacant property. Like nobody lives there. So the grass is tall. It's unkept. It's almost as if somebody might have thrown him. Like he died somewhere else and they threw him over the fence. But without the medical examiner findings, we don't know. But I understand from the family's point of view that they want to try to find out as much as they can. And we're here for that. We're here to help them. We're going to try to find out, like, did he die? Did he overdose? Was he suicidal? I don't know. But if we can help with any kind of answers of any kind, at least we can start lining it up, just depending on what gets found out. All right, friends. I love y'all. Be safe, okay? I'll see y'all soon. I think I'm going home already. I don't want to be out on these streets. Let me check my messages real quick. Hold on. Make sure you follow Bryce Newberry. He worked his butt off for that. He got all the info. Oh, Lord, friends. I'm on my way to another scene right now. Stay tuned. I'm not going home. I'll see y'all.